DZRJ 810 AM, the voice of the Philippines, proudly brings you Equal Justice. Find out the hottest legal issues of the week and hear the analysis. And now, here are your hosts, Attorney Ador Tolentino.
Yes to peace, no to BBM. Facebook. Okay, if you want to follow me.
Attorney June Kicho.
Kailangan pa yun, comfort level eh.
Exactly.
And Attorney Tiki Tabuhara.
Vice President Binay, pati si Pinoy, pati si Executive Secretary.
Good afternoon, Philippines, and good afternoon to all our listeners. This is Attorney Ador Tolentino.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Attorney Tiki Tabuhara, and welcome back to another edition of Equal Justice.
Yes, and it's a rainy Saturday afternoon. We're not actually directly hit by the typhoon right now, Typhoon Ineng.
Oh, pero
But because of the monsoon winds, you know, Ineng never had a landfall. Okay, it's always the nearest that it got to any island in the Philippines is like 70 kilometers, and that's as we speak right now. I think it's right there in the eastern part of Batanes Islands.
Western yata part na.
Eastern na, eastern.
Western.
Hindi na siya nag-cross talaga ng
So
ng mga islands.
It's actually in the north, no? So north.
It's in the north, but because of the habagat, talagang hinatak yung mga tubig. So, worst hit provinces, of course, are Ilocos Norte, Cagayan, Apayao, and I'm sure wala lang sigurong means of communication, Batanes and the Babuyan group of islands. Kasi dyan talaga yung near the eye na eh. And Ilocos Norte being the northern, northwestern tip of Luzon.
Hometown yan.
Yeah, that's my home province. And Cagayan also, northern Cagayan, which
Tugigaraw.
maybe dito sa mga Apari, Santa Ana, Praxedes, Luna, those towns, and Kalinga, Apayao, because these are the northernmost provinces in the northern tip of the island of Luzon. But here in Metro Manila, we really also experienced so much rains yesterday and even last night. In fact, where I'm staying at right now, grabe yung trajectory ng water as it hit the window of our condominium.
I heard nga eh. Actually,
parang it's like a horizontal trajectory.
Parang ang balita ko kahapon when I was about to leave Cavite de Oro, may nagte-text na sa akin eh. Sabi, do not fly, kasi parang unduin naman dito, lakas na ulan, lakas na
kasi where you came from yesterday.
Well, it's sunshine.
Yeah.
Sunshine,
because
complete
hindi siya
sunshine.
affected.
Parang doon sa Mindanao, parang hindi yata sila na-affect ng typhoon eh. Mukhang perpetually sunshine. So it's perfect place to grow crops, no? Mga pinya, ganun, mga raise cattle. Pero dito, from what I understand, medyo nabaga tayo kahapon. So, how's it in your home province, partner?
Well, based on accounts that I heard from, because I tried to monitor, because I still have my old folks living there in one of the towns in Ilocos Norte, that's Pinili, Ilocos Norte, where there's a reported one casualty actually. There's one casualty, I think it was yesterday that the casualty was reported, and I think angkas siya sa motor na natamaan ng bumagsak na puno ng mangga. And that's between that's along the highway, national highway or provincial highway rather, between our town Pinili and the eastern most town of Ilocos Norte, Nueva Ecija. So natamaan yata yung nakaangkas, but the driver was spared. Buti naman. Isa lang sa taon namin.
I heard in the news na parang may nag-overflow ng mga rivers doon. And it caused flooding on the main highway even.
Yes, just to give you a topography of my home province, Ilocos Norte, Tiki, for the understanding also of our listeners here in Metro Manila and nearby provinces. Alam mo yung Ilocos Norte kasi, there are three major river systems. Okay, one is the Badok River, another one is the Lawag River, and the other one is Bacara River. I'm not including na yung mga other rivers kasi hindi sila masyadong malalaki na. But these are the three big ones. And Padsan River is maybe the biggest and longest of all the rivers systems in Ilocos Norte, and it cuts through the central towns from the east to the central towns of Ilocos Norte, and it exits in the Lawag
Yung
River
partner,
Delta.
meron parang hydroelectric plant pa dyan? One of those rivers, I think.
Yes. Yung hydroelectric plant is yung Bacara, yung Vintar Bacara, kay mayroon doon parang hydroelectric plant, ano doon, planta. Okay. But as of 2 hours ago, based on reports I gathered from television or radio reports, the Padsan River is about 2 meters away from the Gilbert Bridge.
Okay.
And Gilbert Bridge actually
Mataas ba yan?
Pinataas talaga yan.
Okay.
It replaced the old river, the old bridge
Okay.
na mababa. Kasi talaga inaabot ng tubig yung mababa naman. But this one talagang tinaatasan ng several meters higher. That's why when you approach that bridge from the town of San Nicolas, it's like you're climbing a mountain. Okay? And then parang yung Fernan Bridge.
Pataas.
And then
sa Cebu.
Pero mas mataas yung yung Fernan
Pero
Bridge.
you said 2 meters away from the level of the bridge.
Yes.
So mataas na yung tubig.
Mataas ang tubig ba?
So, sobra.
The Gilbert Bridge is more than a kilometer, I think. Okay, it's like I think 1.1 kilometers if I'm not mistaken, or could be 1 kilometer long.
Okay.
So ganun kalapad yung river.
Well, ganun kataas yung tubig.
Ganun karami ang volume.
So,
1 kilometer wide, and yet 2 meters na lang aabutin na niya yung
well, you've seen that, ikaw nakaka-imagine.
Yes.
How massive is that flood kung ganun kataas ang
Yeah, that means it's really inundating
Mataas na
low-lying areas already.
Okay.
And Lawag it's settled at the
parang flatland
yan.
Pero may bundok din sa taas.
Wala na. Ang bundok nasa eastern towns, like nanggagaling yung Padsan River kasi from the towns of Solsona, Dingras, yung mga yan, which are also reported to have been inundated. Tapos dadaan yan sa mga towns of Pidig and Sarat, yung town ng nanay ni Marcos. Yung Sarat, kasi magkakadikit yan. And the Lawag. And Lawag is just lying there in the flatlands. Okay? And the Lawag city proper is actually protected from inundation ng Lawag River, or also called the Padsan River, by a dike. The dike is quite high. On dry season, Tiki, napakataas niyan, yung dike. But if you say 2 meters away na lang yung tubig na level,
sobrang taas na yun.
Ibig sabihin almost nilulunod na niya yung dike.
How high are we talking about? Just to give a perspective for those who have not been there.
I would say
ilang metro?
I would say it could be anywhere between 12 meters to 15 meters.
Uy, mataas yun.
Mataas.
Parang undoy na yun.
Yes, mataas talaga.
So above roof level of houses.
Based from the riverbed. Pero hindi pa nga siya lumalampas dun sa dike. Kasi yung dike pataas din yan.
But paano ko malagpasan yun? What towns will be hit?
Well, I'm sure dito sa San Nicolas natatamaan yan. But Sarat and yung mga barangays of Lawag, I'm sure natamaan yan. But the city proper, I'm talking about the city proper kasi
the old city.
No, the central city proper, protected siya ng dike.
So walang problema.
Mukhang hindi inabot na inundate yun. But those, kasi napakalaki ang Lawag City, ang sabot niya. Yung mga nasa outskirts, I'm sure na inundate yan. So that's, malalaman natin yan mamaya because we've coordinated with
the local government.
Yeah, with the local government, particularly those in the provincial risk reduction.
Sino bang governor dyan ngayon? Si Annie Marcos?
Disaster management.
Si Annie Marcos.
Yes, Governor Annie Marcos. So mamaya tatawagan natin. We'll try to get some information.
Para malaman din natin kung what the situation there is.
Yes. So casualty sana kokonti.
Meron bang reports ng casualties?
May mga konting casualty, but we still don't know the real statistics. But because of the massive inundation in the area, Tiki, and alam mo naman, Ilocos Norte is an agricultural region. Yeah, it's agricultural. So, mga crops yan, growing crops.
Anong crops nila doon? Coffee, gano'n?
No.
Beans?
Pag ganitong tag-ulan kasi, syempre yung mga...
Beans?
No, the rice.
Rice?
Oo.
Pero, ano yan, yung parang, they're known more for yung production ng kape, di ba? Coffee.
No. Hindi kami nagka-produce ng kape. More on tobacco pag
Tobacco.
At saka garlic.
Okay.
And this small onions.
Maraming ganun doon.
Yes, pag summer season. But
may rice.
Pag tag-ulan kasi rice. Pero once na na-inundate ang mga rice fields, practically hindi mo na mapapakinabangan yan.
Really?
Especially
for the whole season?
Kasi once na ano yan, maapektuhan yung quality of the grains. Pag ina-inundate yan. Especially kung nandun na siya sa tumutubo na yung mga seeds.
Sayang.
Sayang.
So it causes one whole season of damage. Hindi lang isang linggo, no? Isang linggo. So we have to sige, antayin muna natin si provincial officer ng Ilocos. Still calling, no? Still trying to call in.
Yes, we're trying to
if you're listening in, paki-connect na lang kung nandiyan na kayo. We're waiting for you online.
Okay, let's try. I'll try to text.
Sige, anyway, let's go back to earlier what we said, no, na itong Ilocos Norte region has been disaster hit, no, by this recent typhoon Ineng, and mukhang dinaanan niya sila ng matinding baha. And what we're trying to do right now is to reach out to them so that they can get on the air and have their requests, no, for help on the air para at least marinig naman yung boses nila. Kasi mukhang maraming area doon na walang ilaw, wala pang kuryente, walang power, so they can't seem to get their messages out, no. Pero mukhang disaster na yata declared, no, as of 1 o'clock.
Disaster na. It's a state of
calamity na. State of calamity. So itong Ilocos Norte, of course, our thoughts and prayers are with the people there, no?
Right. Can you imagine, based on the latest report from Pag-asa, the typhoon will stay until Monday.
Matagal pa.
Matagal.
Kasi may dalawa pa, di ba?
No. The second one, dumiretso na ng Japan.
Okay. So wala na.
Itong ating kasi, hindi na siya nag-touch down on any island.
Okay.
Tapos, hindi na rin dumiretso ng Taiwan.
Okay.
Kasi kung dumiretso ng Taiwan, yung sigurado sa pool yung Batanes.
Okay.
But,
Japan, nagpuntang Japan.
Papunta na siya ng Japan. Yun ang tatahakin niyang direction. So it won't go to Taiwan anymore. Kasi Taiwan, kahihit lang din ng Taiwan a week, 2 weeks ago.
Kasi pero hindi kasi intindi natin. Yung sa atin
talaga
sa talaga.
No, the Sudilor pare was also
matindi rin yun.
Parang super typhoon din yun.
Pero
ba't hindi dumaan sa atin yun? We were spared.
Swerte. Pero itong iba, mukhang hindi. Dinadaanan tayo ng dinadaanan. So, are we already in contact with the Ilocos Norte? Wala pa rin. Okay, so still waiting for the Ilocos Norte to come in.
Yes, the cell phone number of Dr. Valenzuela, nakaka-receive siya ng text but medyo mahina daw pag yung call, voice call. So, we'll see kung paano. But as we speak right now, she just reported that the rains again.
Dumating na naman.
Ang lakas na naman daw.
Ito na naman tayo.
Kasi alam mo Ilocos Norte is either too wet or too dry.
Okay.
That is our
the weather landscape.
Yes, ganun ang behavior ng aming weather sa Ilocos Norte. In fact, one of the driest places in the Philippines is Ilocos Norte.
Dry. Okay. Itong ulan na to.
If it is really dry season,
tuyo
talaga mga lupa.
Mainit.
Pag wet season naman,
sa
mga wet. Parang sala sa init yan, sabi nga, sala sa lamig. But pagdating naman ng cold season, like between December to February, isa kami sa mga
mainit naman.
Isa kami sa mga malalamig na lowland. I mean, we cannot compare the weather of Baguio, okay? Because Baguio is always the coolest place in the Philippines. But Ilocos Norte, umaabot din kami dyan ng 9 degrees pag December.
Wow.
Why?
Para ka na sa Amerika.
Kasi kami ang unang sumasagap ng Siberian wind.
Sa taas.
Kasi pag nagaling ng Siberia, going down to China, kami ang unang nakakalanghap ng halimuyak pare ng Siberian wind.
Halimuyak.
Kaya malamig ang mga cold months namin sa Ilocos.
Sinasapawan mo yung Manila. Kaya nalalamigan kayo, kami nainitan dito.
Kasi nasagap na namin lahat.
Pero partner, you grew up there, no? You grew up there.
Yeah. I was born there. I studied there, elementary, high school, and
beautiful place, no? Very historical. Tsaka parang
yes.
yung mga simbahan doon, mga
cultural, historic.
Spanish type, no? Yung mga Spanish type, mga simbahan, mga 1500, 1600. So during that time, nag-akit na pala dyan yung mga Spanyol.
Yes.
And they started building already.
Exactly.
And I understand that yung mga simbahan niya talagang as old as the churches dito sa Manila.
In fact, of the 4 Spanish churches in the Philippines declared already by the UNESCO as a cultural heritage site, 2 churches are in Ilocos. Okay. One in Ilocos Norte, one in Ilocos Sur. And Ilocos Norte, of course, we are talking of the most photographed Paway Church.
Yung tsaka yung Vigan, di ba? Very historical.
Yeah, but hindi siya UNESCO.
Masikat kayo.
Masikat kayo. Alright, let's continue with our discussion on the Supreme Court ruling granting bail to Senator Enrile and its implication in our jurisprudence and criminal rules of procedure after this very, very short break from our studio. We will be back.